That is a controller player!
Alright, let's get into the video. Full screen will be the best option, but I use Windows full screen for a couple of reasons. I have dual monitors, so having windowed full screen allows me to easily maneuver around tabs, and I'm a content creator, which is why I use it. But if you're a competitive player, then full screen right here will definitely be the best option for you, as it does reduce input delay and make your game slightly run faster. Secondly, you're obviously going to want to have 1920 by 1080, well, unless your monitor isn't 1080p. So basically, if you're 1440p, you're going to have, 1440p, like the highest resolution possible for your monitor. That's what you're going to set it at, or else your game is going to look like shit. For your frame rate limit, it all depends on your monitor's refresh rate. So for me, I have 165 hertz, so I'm going to have 165 FPS. If you have a 144 hertz, 144, 240, then you're gonna have on 240, you get the point. Never have it on unlimited, because that actually will make your FPS like unstable, and just you're gonna have inconsistent FPS, and you'll experience much greater frame drops. And even if you have, like, let's say 200 FPS, but you go down to 144, which is still very good, you're gonna feel like a huge difference, because 200 FPS compared to 144 is still a pretty big drop, right? So just don't have it on unlimited. For the colorblind modes, I used to use channel 10. A lot of people use this because it makes the game more colorful and vibrant, but for me, I ended up not liking it after a while, so I just turned off colorblind mode. I just didn't really like how the game looks, but if you don't really care, here's what each one does. And if you're wondering how can colorblind mode help, some will basically make it easier to spot enemies or see through storm, which will give you a competitive advantage. Something important to know is that all of these differences I'm about to show you is on performance mode, meaning if you're on DirectX 11 or 12, it will look much more different, most likely better. Trinope 10 will make your game look a lot more brighter and more vibrant. This is how Protonope looks like. My strength is around 5 to 7. That's what most pros use, like Booga. Deuteranope has been used by Mongrel and other pros, and this is how the game will look like. And colorblind mode off, which is what I use, this is how it looks like. So test around, see which one suits you better, but I will stick to no colorblind mode. And for the graphics quality, I have mine on 100% because I like the look of the game, and it just makes everything sharper. Now, I see a lot of people put it around like 90, 85%. It's not that big of a reduction, but it will definitely improve your FPS greatly because you have to render less pixels. But for me, I will definitely keep it 100%. View distance for max FPS, but you can always put it on medium. You're not going to lose that much frames, all right? It says right here, closer view distance can improve performance on a slower device. But, if your device is decent, have it on medium since you can see more. And I should probably have mine on medium, but I'll just stick to low because, I just that desperate for FPS. Now, for textures, I would keep mine on low. Medium is also a sweet spot as well, okay? So low will definitely have your best FPS. Medium will make your game slightly look better without reducing your FPS that much. Now, for meshes, it really depends because we have to talk about this. Epic has made a change in Chapter 3. Performance mode is different than what it used to be. So I use high meshes because I detest mobile builds. On the screen, if you put low meshes, this is how the game and builds will look like. For high meshes, it's a mix between bubble wrap builds and normal builds, which I absolutely love since it doesn't look bad at all and it still increases my FPS very nicely. I also use this because I'm a content creator and I don't like low meshes. However, you're most likely a competitive player or someone who just wants FPS. So if you don't care, like really don't care, then go on low meshes only if you're that desperate for FPS and your PC is built like a potato. For VSync, you want to have turned that off. VSync helps eliminate screen tearing, but turning off VSync has many benefits, as it does give higher frame rates and better input response. For show FPS, that's totally optional. I have it on. I just like to see my FPS all the time. And obviously, rendering mode will be performance. Toggle sprint is going to be dependent on the setting right here, sprint by default. I have this on and I recommend you turn it on too. If it is enabled, this will give you an extra keybind to use so you don't always have to be using your pinky to hold down shift and run. This makes it much easier. Sprint cancels reloading, definitely have that on, or else you won't be able to run if you're reloading. You have to be flexible and you don't want to be there standing looking like a fish because you can't even sprint. Auto open doors is huge. Turn it on and here's why. If you're editing and you mess up and accidentally edit a door instead, having this option on will open it automatically so you don't lose your momentum. Definitely important for build fights. Hold to swap pickup, I definitely suggest you put this on. It makes it easier to arrange your loadout in your inventory. Targeting control right here, in other words, aim down sights. For me, it's hold. It feels hella weird to toggle on and off your target control. This one's optional. Mark danger when targeting. So if you're aiming at a player and you ping, then a danger marker will be placed instead of the default location marker. Nothing too special there. Again, optional. Auto pickup weapons, that is definitely off. It will mess you up, trust me on that one. You'll have much more control if it's off, so have this off for sure. Now, go to preferred item slots and click configure. If you didn't know this already, it's been in the game for a while now. you can just assign a weapon to go whatever slot you want. So for example, for me, whenever I pick up an assault rifle, it will always go to loadout slot number 1. When I pick up a shotgun, it will always go to slot number 2. SMG will be 3, sniper or bow, those like long range weapons will be my slot number 4, and any consumables will automatically go to the right. I definitely recommend you use this. It's gonna make your life a lot easier. Pre-edit option has its ups and downs. For me, I don't have it on, but I probably should. If you have this on, you can no longer pre-edit walls. Now, this is useful for some players, but let's say you mess up a lot of edits, then having this on will definitely help you with that. But at the same time, if you play trios or duos, what pro trio teams do is they have one guy with a pre-edited wall and one guy taking the wall. The second he places the wall, it will already be edited, so you can easily catch players off guard with this trick. You can even do it in solos if you're quick enough. Turbo building, everyone will have it on. That's not even a question, but for edit on release, there's a bit of controversy going around this option. And a lot of people will use edit on release on, and a lot of people will use off. Most pros will have it off because it gives them more control on the edit, and having good crosshair placement will definitely be much easier. Having it on though will make your editing slightly faster since you don't have to click your edit keybind twice, only once, and then you'll edit the build piece. This is good if you have good awareness and control as well as aim. I won't say turn it on or off because this is dependent on your skill, and honestly, go into creative, put it on and try it out. Play a couple of games and see if you like it or not. That is honestly how you will know. If you have an NVIDIA GPU, for FPS, turn off NVIDIA highlights. Preferable lighting, that has nothing to do with FPS. If your keyboard has RGB, it just has some correlation with that. It's nothing too important. Now for an FPS increase, turn record replays, record large team replays, and creative mode replays off. Now I will have it on because I'm a content creator and it makes it easier for me to get footage. But again, if you're a competitive player, which you most likely are, and you just want more FPS, definitely turn this off. It'll also save you some storage space. Game UI options are totally optional, but here are mine. Now for the sensitivity and DPI, it will be different for everyone, but I will help you find your sense. I want to tell you guys to go and test. I will try my best to show you the most accurate way possible. Now for your DPI, if you don't know what that is, it's very simple. Basically, what I'm doing right now, moving my cursor around, going to my settings, that right there is my DPI. That's not the game settings, right? When I go into my inventory and I'm arranging my gun slots, that is called DPI. Basically, to find your DPI, just run around, jump, and switch your guns in your loadout. And do this until you're comfortable. So here's how you find your in-game sensitivity. All right, so what you want to do is you want to go to edit and shoot right here. Stand right in front of the stationary target and just find the center point. So I'm just going to aim right at his head. While not ADSing, I'm just going to keep moving my mouse to the right. And basically, you want to be able to do one 360. So I'm going to go to the right. And as you can see, I've already passed it. I still have mouse space, so I'm going to keep going. And then right here, I've reached the end of my mouse pad space and I've made two 360s, which is not good. So I might need to reduce my sensitivity while not ADSing. And you're going to do that same thing for when ADSing, but you only want to do a 180. And I fall a bit short, so I might just need to increase just slightly. But that's how you find your sense. Now for audio, most of it is optional except a couple of things. So for sound, if you go here to sound quality, having it on low will slightly increase your FPS, not much, it's just audio. Subtitles though, I definitely recommend going to options and going all the way to the left off extra small, white, non-clear. It just makes it look much better. Voice chat, creator options, that's just all optional, nothing to really do with FPS. That concludes this video. I hope I helped you guys out. Please consider subscribing. Don't forget to join my Discord below. This is where I can chat with you guys, and also this is where I let you know about my uploads and announcements. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter as well, and thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you all next time.